You know what took me a long time to understand in Thailand? People are not always saying exactly what they mean. Now, before the comment section starts having a nervous breakdown, I'm not saying Thai people are liars. That's not what I mean at all. That's actually the mistake a lot of Westerners make when they first come to Thailand. They think, why is nobody being straight with me? But Thailand just doesn't operate like Britain, America, Australia, and countries in the West. In the West, we're taught that being direct is a good thing. Just tell me. Be honest. Say it to my face. Don't waste my time. And that's normal to us. In Thailand, being too direct can actually make you look rude, aggressive, or emotionally immature. And that difference alone causes so many problems between foreigners and Thai people. It's unbelievable. Relationships, friendships, business, family situations, even ordering food sometimes turns into a psychological experiment. I remember years ago when I first started spending real time in Thailand, I kept thinking people were unsure all the time. Maybe, we'll see. Can, up to you. Everything felt vague. As a Westerner, you're sat there thinking, well, is that a yes or a no? And the answer is usually, it's just a polite no. But Westerners don't hear that. We hear possibility. A Thai person hears, I'm trying to avoid confrontation politely. And that's why you get so many foreigners emotionally exhausting themselves in Thailand, because they keep trying to force direct answers out of people who are trying to maintain harmony. And that's really what this all comes down to. Harmony. Thailand values smooth social interaction more than brutal honesty. In the West, we often value honesty, even if it causes tension. Thailand often values reducing tension, even if everything isn't spoken aloud. Different systems. Neither side is completely right or wrong, but both sides think they are. You can actually see this difference immediately when conflict happens. In England, if somebody's angry, they'll often just say it eventually. Maybe not immediately, because British people are emotionally constipated half the time, but after a few drinks, it'll definitely come out. You know what, mate? I've had enough. Thailand is different. A lot of Thai people would rather avoid direct conflict altogether, if possible, not because they're weak. That's another mistake foreigners make. Westerners sometimes mistake calmness for weakness. Big mistake. Thai people are often incredibly emotionally controlled compared to Westerners. The average British city centre on a Friday night looks like a wildlife documentary narrated by David Attenborough. The male has consumed 9 pints of lager and is now screaming outside Greg's. Thailand generally values emotional composure far more. Raising your voice publicly, embarrassing people publicly, making scenes, it makes people uncomfortable, especially making someone lose face. Now this is another thing foreigners hear about constantly, but don't fully understand. Saving face in Thailand is a huge thing, and it's deeper than pride. Westerners often think, oh, people are just too proud to admit they're wrong. No, it's more complicated than that. Public embarrassment damages social harmony. If you aggressively correct someone in front of others, even if you're technically right, you can still be seen as the one behaving badly. And that confuses Westerners massively, because Western culture often prioritizes facts over feelings. Thailand often prioritizes social balance over blunt truth. That's why some foreigners come to Thailand and constantly think people are being fake. But what's actually happening is they're watching a different social system operate. I've seen this so many times in relationships. A Western guy will sit there demanding direct answers. What's wrong? Tell me honestly. Do you still love me? What are we doing? Why are you quiet? And the Thai partner gets more uncomfortable the more intense the conversation becomes, because many Thai people don't grow up communicating emotions in that ultra direct Western way. Sometimes they'll show care through actions instead, cooking for you, helping you, checking if you've eaten, doing little things quietly. And meanwhile, the foreign guy is sat there wanting a TED talk about emotional transparency, different communication styles, and honestly, this is where a lot of Western men completely misunderstand Thailand. They think if somebody isn't saying things directly, then they must be manipulative. Now obviously, sometimes people are manipulative. Let's not become naive little philosophers pretending everybody is pure and enlightened. There are good people and bad people everywhere, but many misunderstandings genuinely come from cultural differences, not evil intentions. Even in friendships, you notice it. Thai people will often avoid saying harsh things directly if they think it will create discomfort. Westerners sometimes interpret this as dishonesty, but in Thailand, keeping things socially smooth matters a lot. You especially notice this in workplaces. This absolutely destroys some Western businessmen mentally. They'll ask, does everybody understand? Everybody smiles and nods away. Then 2 weeks later, the thing hasn't been done. The Westerner explodes. Why didn't you tell me? Because openly saying I don't understand can feel embarrassing. Again, face. This is why foreigners who succeed long-term in Thailand are usually calmer people, or at least they learn to become calmer. The guys constantly trying to force Western communication styles onto Thailand usually end up permanently stressed. You see them online all the time, angry, bitter, shouting about how everybody's fake. No, mate, you just never adapted. And that's different. And this becomes really dangerous in dating because Western men often mistake politeness for emotional commitment. Thailand is a very polite culture. Smiling does not automatically mean deep emotional attachment. Being nice does not always mean serious intentions. And some foreigners completely misread this, particularly in nightlife culture. Now let's be honest here, because this is where reality enters the room holding a baseball bat. In bars, emotional management is often part of the job. A girl may avoid directly rejecting somebody because direct rejection creates discomfort, and discomfort affects money. So instead, you get soft language, ambiguity, maybe, later, we'll see, you handsome man. And then Dave from Birmingham is planning a wedding after 3 Chang beers and half a conversation. Again though, not always evil, sometimes survival, sometimes culture, sometimes both. Thailand teaches you very quickly that words are not always the main thing you should focus on. Behaviour matters more, consistency matters more, actions matter more. That's actually one of the biggest lessons Thailand teaches foreigners if they stay long enough. Stop obsessing over words, watch patterns instead. And honestly, that's probably useful everywhere in life now, not just Thailand, because modern people talk absolute nonsense half the time anyway. Social media has made communication even worse. Everybody says what sounds good. Very few people say what's real. At least Thailand is honest about being indirect. The West pretends to be direct, while people play passive-aggressive psychological chess for 20 years in office jobs. Kind regards, the most threatening phrase ever created by mankind. But I do think Westerners should try harder to understand this cultural difference before immediately assuming bad intentions. Thailand is not Britain with palm trees. You cannot expect everybody to communicate the same way you do. And honestly, a lot of foreigners would probably be happier if they stopped demanding constant verbal certainty from life. Thailand forces you to become more observant. You start reading energy more, behavior more, tone more, situations more. You become less robotic socially because Western culture can sometimes become ridiculously over-literal. Why didn't they say exactly what they meant? Because human beings are emotional creatures trying to maintain social balance without hurting each other unnecessarily. That's why. Now, obviously, this indirect style also has its downsides. Sometimes problems don't get addressed early enough. Sometimes people avoid uncomfortable truths too long. And sometimes mixed signals create confusion. Absolutely. But Western directness also has its downsides. Aggression, conflict, social tension, ego battles, public humiliation. You only have to spend 5 minutes on Twitter to realize directness does not automatically create wisdom, usually just chaos and somebody typing in capital letters about immigration while eating microwave chips. Every culture solves social problems differently. Thailand chose harmony. The West chose bluntness. Both systems work. Both systems also fail sometimes. But once you finally understand Thailand is operating on completely different social software, everything starts making more sense. Not perfectly. Thailand will still confuse you sometimes no matter how long you live there. Even Thai people get confused by Thailand. But you stop taking everything so personally. And honestly, that's probably one of the healthiest things a foreigner can learn there. This has been Thai Talk with Dan Unleashed. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care and ciao for now. Bye bye.